Hi, my name is Eero Saunamäki and I'm a professional recorder and saxophone player from Helsinki, Finland. In this video I'm going to be reviewing the digital wind instrument 2 Plus by Carry On. And previously I've reviewed the first version, but this version has some improvements. So let's take a closer look. This is a quite budget-friendly digital instrument and it sells for a little under $150. This instrument is developed by the Blackstar company under their Carry On brand. So inside the cardboard box I already recycled, you can find the instrument itself, a mouthpiece cover, a USB-C to A cable, a nice soft case, but no manual. At least in my package there wasn't any manual, but I got the manual as a PDF from Blackstar, and Blackstar did send me this whole package for free to review, but the thoughts of this digital instrument are my own. I'll share the manual as a PDF in the description box below. The Digital Wind Instrument 2 Plus is quite small and portable, and it weighs about 200 grams. And if you compare it to a soprano recorder, it's not that much bigger. The instrument is made out of this kind of robust plastic, and it feels quite sturdy in the hand. And I think the design is quite modern. There are two color options to choose from, the white one and the black one. All right, let's get into the details. Here you have the side connections, USB-C for charging and headphone out for silent practice or to connect to a PA system if you want to go a bit crazy. And here's the 3-watt front-facing speaker. This instrument also has a reverb effect, breath sensitivity options, Bluetooth Midi for use as a wireless controller, built-in rechargeable battery with 3 hours of battery life, 2 fingering modes for saxophone and Chinese flute, and a Portamento key. If you want even more possibilities in your digital wind instrument, you should check out the new Pro version instead. All right, so let's take a look at the controls. In the back, you have a power button, and when you press it, the instrument turns on. And with this V or voice button, you change the 10 different sounds. And now we'll go through the sounds. Now, I'm not really sure if this is a pre-production model, but in the manual it says you have 10 different voices or sounds, but I can select 20 different sounds on my Digital Wind Instrument 2 Plus. And also these numbers don't resemble the instrument names that are written here in the manual. But anyway, we'll check out the sounds. I think the first sound is alto saxophone. Let's see, number 2. This could be tenor, and also if you articulate more, then you get this kind of edgier sound. Number 3. Four. This is a trumpet. Yeah, I think it's kind of the articulation works quite well. There's a bit of latency when you move your fingers, but I think the articulation is quite clear with this one. This could be a trombone. Number 6. A tuba, maybe. And here in the end of the instrument you have this drain hole, and you have to be a little bit careful because the kind of the air that you blow to the instrument, it turns into some kind of water which drips out from the drain hole. And if you have a computer or iPad or something, be careful not to get your other devices wet. Number 7. This is a flute. And then 8. This is some kind of an ethnic flute, maybe shakuhachi or something like that. Maybe a clarinet. Number 10. 11. Maybe a bassoon or something like that. Number 12. This is a piccolo, of course. 13. This is some kind of flute also. Sounds quite nice. 14. This is a violin. 15. No idea. 16. In this side of the instrument, you have the octave keys, 1 octave up, 1 octave down. And in here, you can choose between the saxophone fingerings and the Chinese flute fingerings. They're quite similar to the saxophone ones, not exactly. And with these buttons, you can go chromatically 1/2 step up or 1/2 step down. Let's continue. Sound number 17. This was really nice. Kind of, it makes this kind of funky attack when you articulate and blow. No idea what this was, but I don't care because it sounds nice. 18. Some kind of flute. 19. No idea. And the last one is number 20. And those were the sounds. Then let's take a look at the reverb. If you press this R button here in the back, you have 3 different options: 0, 1, 2, and 3. And that's the amount of reverb this instrument gives you. So if it's turned to 0, it sounds like this. And then number 1. Number 2. And number 3. So the difference between these is quite big, I think. Then when you press this button T, that's transpose. And that means that you can transpose by 1/2 step by pressing these buttons right here. So it's now tuned to C. And then if you want to play with people who have like D flat or C sharp instruments, then you just press once here. Or if you want to make the key easier or more comfortable for yourself, this is also something that you can do with this transpose button. So if you just press these buttons, then it grows chromatically the whole scale, and I think this is quite convenient. The Digital Wind Instrument 2 Plus has 2 different fingering types, one for saxophone and one for Chinese flute. And the first version of this, which I reviewed a while ago, had fingerings for recorder and Chinese flute. So that's something they have changed for this instrument. But anyway, if you hold down the transpose button, then you can select between F1 and F2. So fingering number 1, saxophone, fingering number 2, Chinese flute. You can change the breath sensitivity of the instrument, and I'll read this from the manual. Breath sensitivity refers to the amount of air pressure required to generate a loud sound. The higher the sensitivity means less air pressure is needed to make the note louder. To select breath sensitivity, hold down the volume button like this until the screen displays B1. Use the function buttons to select between breath sensitivity 1 low, 2 medium, or 3 high. Okay, so now it's on 1. yeah, I can do quite a lot of difference in the air pressure. Okay, let's try another setting. B2. Okay, feels a bit different. And then B3. Yeah, this is a bit easier now to do the things now. To change the volume, I don't have to push so hard. And with this Bluetooth button, you can connect your digital wind instrument to your computer or your iPad, for example. So as I told you, there's a slight latency when you change the notes, when you change the fingerings. But I think that doesn't really ruin the experience. It's just something that you have to kind of be aware of. And then one thing about the sounds, on some of the sounds, there's this kind of automatic vibrato you can't control. So if you just blow a straight note, there still might be a vibrato like this. I'm just blowing, I'm not doing any vibrato with my diaphragm or with my throat. But you can still hear the vibrato. So that's something to also to be aware of. In here you have the Portamento key, and if you don't press it, and if you do jumps like this, it sounds like this. And then if you press the Portamento key at the same time with your right hand thumb and do the jumps, it sounds like this. And without, with. And I think this is a great addition to this instrument. And as I mentioned, you can also use this instrument as a Midi controller, and that gives even more possibilities in sounds and expressing your musical ideas. Just remember that it's Bluetooth Midi, so it has a bit of latency, so you have to cope with that, but just exploring different kinds of sounds and making music, making like ambient music and so on, it works really well. You can check out my other video on how to connect the device into your iPad. So what are my kind of overall thoughts about this instrument? Well, I think it looks quite modern and great, and it's affordable, lightweight, easy to use, and it works well as a Midi controller. And for somebody who's kind of starting out with digital instruments or wants to play without disturbing others, I think this is a great option. Then if we look at the downsides of the instrument from a professional's point of view, I think the biggest con is the latency when you play the instrument. And also that some of these sounds are maybe not that good or sounding not that professional. So for these reasons, I wouldn't maybe recommend this for professional stage use. All right, that was it for the Digital Wind Instrument 2 Plus by Carry On. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And you can find all kind of buying links and other info in the description box. See you in the next video.